I know I keep on talking about the power of choice, how our choices define our success, we write our own future, yada yada yada. But all of that is conceptual. We all know that, nothing new. In this video, I'm gonna share with you the rules that I follow to develop myself and my skills, and how I break them.
Really? So can I?
No! Hello everybody and welcome back. It's so good to see you all healthy and always in growth mode. Today's an interesting day, folks. Today we're talking about simple rules that we can follow to ensure that we're always growing and prepared for any opportunities in our lives, especially during crisis. These are 3 simple rules
that you didn't make up.
that I didn't make up, but I'm applying every day, and boy have they changed my life. In this video, we're gonna explain exactly what these rules are and how we can apply them daily. But before we start, let's set the scene with a little story.
On the 11th of March last year, the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 as a pandemic.
That COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
This then sent shockwaves throughout the world, impacting careers, businesses, and our lives. Unemployment rate hit record high. Hundreds of millions were out of job within weeks, and the ones that remained had massive salary cuts. I was one of those impacted.
All in all, and a year later, a full recovery to pre-2020 for the jobs market still appears distant. Expectations go as far as more than 3 years for the jobs market to recoup. These are life-changing and eye-opening moments. It changed my perspective about jobs, education, and skills. So how should we deal with this knowledge now?
I like the saying, the power of the mind is to apply knowledge in practice. How many times we had this brilliant idea, but we didn't write it down. And even if we remembered it, we couldn't get bothered to start. And even if we started working on it, we bailed midway. Don't worry, we're not alone. A staggering 92% of people fail to achieve their goals. 92%, can you believe it? That means if we actually find a way to go ahead and work towards our goals and achieve them, that will make us from the 8% of the world. Isn't that amazing?
This can only happen if we decide to take control over our own lives. Focus on what we value the most. Create a plan to reach there, and then attack this plan every single day until we achieve those goals. This will not only give us control over our professional lives, but will dramatically enhance and improve the quality of our personal lives as well.
No successful person ever existed reached their goals in any domain without setting a system or a plan and kept going at it day in, day out for as long as it required until they reached their set goals. So here are the 3 rules that I apply every day to maintain growth. Rule number 1, the 5-second rule.
Nope, not the 5-second basketball rule.
5-second call.
And it's not the 5-second food hygiene rule either.
Gotta eat it off the ground. That's the 5-second rule, so it should be good, right?
It is Mel Robbins' 5-second rule. It's so funny how something so profound and so powerful was almost missed from a TED Talk.
Wait, okay, this is the last part, sorry. So one more thing that you can use. I call it the 5-second rule.
Simply put, deep down inside of us soul, we know what's right and what's wrong. We know we should get up and exercise. Take the apple instead of the donut. Stop binge watching YouTube and go back to studying. We know it, always, and it's killing us. The point is, whenever I get one of those impulses, I count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then I physically move to do the things I'm supposed to do. If I wait any longer, my mind will come up with all sorts of excuses that will sound so rational to stop me from doing it, and will kill the moment.
You see, starting is usually the hardest part. So when we get that nagging impulse to do it, the longer we think about it, the more our minds will find excuses to kill it. This is how our mind is designed, to stop us from doing scary and difficult stuff. The reason behind this is that we make decisions 95% of the time based on feelings, not reason. Workout is obviously better than watching a movie, but we choose not to work out because we don't feel like it. So the 5-second rule works on cutting off our feelings. It works on limiting the time for those feelings to materialize.
The more I apply the 5-second rule, the more I'm able to replace bad behavior and habits with good ones, just by getting started, by nudging myself out of procrastination. 5, 4, 3,
2, 1, booster ignition, and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery, returning to the space station, paving the way for future missions beyond.
Rule number 2, the 2-day rule.
The earliest occurrence I could find for this rule is in an Inc. magazine article about some super salesman way back in the year 2000. It's also popular in the fitness domain. Let's be real here. We're only humans, no machines. The 5-second rule is good and everything, but every once in a while we wake up on the wrong side of the bed. We have a bad hair day. I don't know about you, but if I hold myself to a strict no-skip rule, if I keep on pushing myself all the time, it would be a lot harder to make any good habit stick. And I would get demotivated at some point. As counterintuitive as it may sound, aiming for perfection is a sure way to drop off the habit completely. So breaking the first rule is good. Rules are made to be broken, right? Feels nice saying it.
Remember when we were super excited about this new habit we wanted to start? Now we started it, but after a while we feel this resistance, this force that is pulling us away. What once was a passion now turned into an obligation. We can't stand doing it anymore. The only way to break this toxic voice inside our heads is through pushing forward, putting in the reps day after day. But what happens on my bad day where I don't feel like doing it? Or life happens and I'm not genuinely able to go to the gym or work on my new skill? That's okay. I break my first rule. But only for one day.
So basically what the 2-day rule is, if I miss a daily habit, for whatever reason, I'll do everything in my power to never miss it the day after. I'll try as much as possible to never miss 2 days in a row. I find it so easy to slip back into procrastination, but then I'll give myself this one day, and I'll commit to coming back to it the next day. Never ever break the chain.
Rule number 3, the 3-year rule.
When we have this idea, this new habit, that business or side hustle that we would like to pursue, first we apply the 5-second rule to help us get started every day. Then we apply the 2-day rule to never miss 2 days in a row and break the chain. But you know how our minds work? Remember when we stood in front of the mirror after our first gym session? What happens if our food delivery is delayed, or our Amazon is not delivered the next day, or even if our favorite Netflix show took few extra seconds to load? This instant gratification culture is now ingrained in our behavior. You see, if you plant a seed, no amount of water or soil can have its fruits ripen the next day. We must trust the process. This is where we give ourselves a timeline, at least few years. We must trust the system and keep going at it every single day. When we see a successful person, an athlete, an artist, we think to ourselves how lucky they are, talented and gifted. We convince ourselves that their success is a result of their luck. We keep on hearing Jim Carrey's story and how he was a waiter, a dishwasher, then accidentally discovered. What we keep on refusing to see is how they got there, by adopting a growth mindset instead of a fixed one. They kept on working every single day of their lives, kept on improving steadily over time. In my world, there are 2 types of people. One who has 1 year of experience repeated 10 times, and another who has a true 10 years of experience. Success, whatever you may define it, is a result of good habits repeated every single day. Most times, compromise is the only way to success. Doing what we don't want to reach to what we do want.